2024 NFL Draft coverage on Keon Sports is brought to you by JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL was founded by the Lewis family of Kent, Ohio in 2005 to provide residents with a reliable, professional, and high-quality level of service. Fast forward to today, JBL Roofing and Construction has become one of Northeast Ohio's most trusted roofing and siding companies, performing the highest quality work on over 3,000 roofs and projects. Mickey Mart, the moose is on the loose. Your local Mickey Mart is open now for all the food and fuel you need to keep every big game party going. Mickey Mart is proud to team up with Keon Sports to bring you all the finest moments in local sports information and entertainment. Visit www.mickeythemoose.com to find a store near you. Gotcha Covered Avon. Their team of experienced design consultants are experts in helping you find the right window treatments for your home or business. Swing by their showroom at 2525 Nagel Road in Avon to see for yourself how they can make your entire living room or any room look better with a few small suggestions and low cost. You can also find them online at gotchacovered.com/Avon. Lally's Handyman Service. From deck and fence building to indoor and outdoor remodeling, Lally's Handyman Service has you covered. Matt and his crew is well known around Keon Sports for doing a multitude of services and have hit a home run every single time. Repair, replace, and remodel with Lally's Handyman Service. Give them a call at 216-789-2047. Lou Grosso Accounting and Tax Services. Your taxes and accounting needs must be handled by the very best so you can rest easy. You can have that comfort of knowing your money is being handled by the experts with Lou Grosso Accounting and Tax Service. They prepare individual, corporate, nonprofit, and small business tax returns. They also specialize in investment accounting and managing clients' QuickBooks with over $275 million in assets accounted for. Located in Avon, they prepare your federal, state, and city return, which includes e-file and direct deposit. Please visit their website, www.lougrossotax.com, for more information. And Every Step Senior. Every Step Seniors is a full-service relocation service helping seniors to downsize and move. They handle every step of the way, including packing, moving, setup, home cleanouts, donations, and home sale prep services. Make sure you check out Every Step Seniors today. It is day 2 of 2024 NFL Draft Prospect Rankings, and really happy to have everybody back here for day 2. We started off with the quarterbacks yesterday. Now we move to the running backs. And before I dive in, a couple things to know about me, if you don't already know this. When it comes to some of my guilty pleasures, the things I love when it comes to football, well, evaluating these guys going from college to the NFL and the NFL draft is one of my favorite things with football in totality. The other thing is, though, I love Dynasty fantasy football. Love fantasy football in general, but my Dynasty league is a big deal to me. Part of that is because I can take some of this work on what I know about these prospects and then translate that also to the rookie drafts upcoming. So when it comes to the quarterbacks, the running backs, the wide receivers, and tight ends specifically, really enjoy talking about these first couple positions, these first couple days here. Of course, the next one's coming up, wide receivers, tight ends, after this one today. But really enjoy these because of Dynasty as well. So, if you play fantasy football, you have your Dynasty League, make sure you pay close attention to what I'm about to talk about because my running back rankings might be a little bit different than what you're typically seeing out there right now. So let's jump in and let's get started here on day 2. My third ranked running back is Marshawn Lloyd of USC. He's an excellent running back with a sturdy frame despite being on the shorter side. He is solid in blitz pickup, and he is also a capable receiver specifically on screens and swing passes. He is a compact build with a low center of gravity, balance, and then he also has a blend of power and burst. He can squeeze through tight gaps, and his natural instincts help him to be patient as a runner. He's not really a short yardage bruiser, but he is powerful enough and tough enough to be an every down type of a running back. Would like to see him improve a little bit on his cut blocks, so that way he can be an even better blocker and pass protection as well. If he can become a better pass protector, then I do fully expect to see him on the field pretty much every single down if and when he becomes a starter, and I really do feel like he has the potential to at least become that. At minimum, he should get a lot of touches early in his NFL career. My player comparison for him, Kenneth Gainwell. Gainwell's not a guy who gets touches every single down, but for the Eagles, he's had plenty of work on third downs and can do a lot of spot work as well. And then Austin Eckler. Eckler is a guy who has a lot of the similar traits of these other guys, but he actually became a number one and was getting work constantly. He was the workhorse, the main guy in Los Angeles. Of course, now went off to Washington, but Lloyd, he has a lot of similarities, and I think he could project to become like Austin Eckler had been for the past quite a few years. My projection for him is being selected between round 2 and round 4. So second to fourth round guy. Should probably see him come off the board on day 2 at the latest, very beginning of day 3. My best fits for him, New England. They still have Ramondre Stevenson. They did bring in Antonio Gibson as a change of pace guy, but I think Lloyd actually might be a perfect complement. Not quite the power of Stevenson, not quite as good of a receiver as Gibson, but he actually fits right in between those two and might be a good third guy to add in that room. Minnesota. If he goes to Minnesota, well, they've really seemed to choose to go with Chandler here at this point, and I think Lloyd would be part of a 1-2 punch with him up with the Vikings. Kansas City might not be a bad fit either. Isaiah Pacheco, he's going to get the main priority at especially a lot of the power back situation type of carries. But if Lloyd can go there, he'll handle a lot of the third down responsibilities and then spot Pacheco when needed as well. And my wild card's Houston. Houston did get Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati Bengals, but Mixon is getting older. He's been fairly healthy the past few years. He's a physical runner. Lloyd could either offer some assistance on third downs where he can fill in, do some spot work since Mixon will probably take a lot of the first and second down touches. But if Mixon goes down at any point, Lloyd can then step up and get a lot of playing time and may potentially, if and when he takes over a starting job somewhere, stay the starter for a long time to come. At number 2, this may be the biggest surprise of any of my top 3 rankings at any position group in this entire 2024 class. It's because this guy is extremely underrated by pretty much any scout out there that I've seen an analyst put their work out. And any big board that I've seen, he's been way down the list compared to where I have him. That's Cody Schrader of Missouri. He is way too underrated. He's a small workhorse running back with sneaky speed. I think he's a dog. With determination, good play recognition, and he stays low when he runs, which makes him tough to tackle. Plenty of vision in open field. He has the patience to wait for a hole to open up, and then he hits that hole with lots of burst. His body control is impressive, and he just runs through tackles. Natural receiver with effectiveness on screens as well, so he offers value on third downs, not just first and second down value as well. His speed is not elite, but it's still good enough, and the size is maybe one of the only things that might concern scouts. I don't think it's necessarily a problem, but he is a smaller running back when it comes to his stature. So the question will be, can he handle a full workload? I would argue yes. He's definitely done that at Missouri, and his time throughout college, his ball security is excellent, and he really tore apart the SEC and the Ohio State Buckeyes in the bowl game last season. Everything that Schrader has done and what he's put on film, I think he's just a hard runner, and he has that mentality to make something happen and make a big name for himself in the NFL. He is going to be a steal in this draft, and I'll tell you where I expect him to be selected, and it's absurd with him being my number 2 prospect at the running back position. My player comparisons for him, I think he could hit maybe not the same stratosphere, but be in the same type of conversation as a guy like Christian McCaffrey, a guy who has great vision, has hands out of the backfield, can really do it all. And I think that do-it-all nature is something that Schrader has in him as well. Not as explosive, not quite as good of an athlete, but has that similar mentality. And then Zach Moss. I think there's the physicality there. I think he runs a little bit more like Zach Moss than he does Christian McCaffrey. A little bit more power in the way that he runs, but still another good running back to be compared to as well. My projection is 4th to 6th round. That's right. This is going to be a day 3 steal. Everybody's going to be looking at Schrader. If he lands in the right position at the right team, he's going to get carries early because of the way that he plays, and he should. And everybody's going to be kicking themselves for not taking him to either day 1 or day 2. My best fits, the Los Angeles Chargers. With Jim Harbaugh now there, that offensive line is going to be stressed on adding some power, being a good run-blocking team. Know that blocking tight ends are going to be important for them. Expect Harbaugh to run a similar system to what he probably ran at Michigan and trying to run that football. Schrader would fit in really well with the scheme of Jim Harbaugh because there's some similarities between Schrader and Blake Corum. The Las Vegas Raiders, well, Josh Jacobs is no longer there. They do need some more running backs there in that room. Obviously know that they want Zeus to step up and be the guy this coming season. But he offers a lot of power. Schrader offers a little bit more as a pass catcher than what Zeus does, so might be a good 1-2 punch there. In my opinion, even though he's not as big and as physical, Schrader's actually probably the better running back, in my opinion. Tennessee, the Titans might not be a bad fit either. Now, I know that they brought in Tony Pollard, and they have Tyjae Spears. But Cody Schrader is a little bit different of a runner from both of those guys. He might be a good third guy to bring into this system. The other two are more change of pace, don't bring that physicality. Schrader might actually get some work on short yardage situations, goal-to-go situations if he's brought in this system with the Titans. And my wild card is Kansas City. The Chiefs could keep him in Missouri. He would be well loved in Kansas City because he's already loved by a lot of those fans who are Missouri Tiger fans as well. Maybe not the perfect fit there with Isaiah Pacheco, but could be a dangerous 1-2 punch there in the backfield next to Patrick Mahomes. And at number 1, Trey Benson of Florida State. Benson is the best running back in this class. He will be exceptional on first and second downs as a workhorse in the NFL. He's got a really strong build. He has power in the legs, keeps those legs churning, and he also can plant hard and make really quick cuts and find an open lane. He displays strong vision, allowing him to hit those cutback lanes, and he does so in a quick manner with short, choppy steps that allows him to redirect in a hurry. He has really impressive acceleration in open field, and he does not fumble the football. Ball security is excellent for Benson. Maybe the best in this entire class when it comes to not putting the football on the ground. And he's also a solid blocker, which adds to his value. Sometimes as a runner, he can be a little too impatient for my liking and gets too upright as a runner. Not an overwhelming burner despite having good acceleration, but he has enough speed to be a great running back and still pull away from defenders at the second and third level. It would be foolish for him to not be the first running back selected off the board. I know I said a lot of good things about Schrader, but Benson is still just a little bit above him. I think Benson's on a tier of his own in this class. This is a running back class that is not as good as some other running back classes in the past. There's a lot of guys who can maybe make things happen as depth and rotation pieces, but will there be a ton of starting running backs coming out of this class? Likelihood is probably not. Benson should be a 4-down conclusion, though, as a starting running back. My player comparisons for him, Kenneth Walker III and Breece Hall, both guys starting in the league, both guys who are both good in college, and they are the best running backs on their team and should get a vast majority of the touches for good reason. My projection for him, 2nd to 3rd round. I could easily see him being a guy who maybe makes it to the third round if no running backs get taken in the second, because he should be the first guy off the board. Wouldn't be surprised if you see a Blake Corum come off the board, or you see Marshawn Lloyd or somebody along those lines, Braylon Allen. But Benson should be the guy to come off first. And the team that should probably do it is Dallas. That is his best fit by far and away. Dallas, without Tony Pollard, they kind of have a big hole on their roster with Rico Dowdle is their top guy at the moment. That's not going to last. They're going to go out, get a free agent, take a shot on a J.K. Dobbins, or draft a guy like Trey Benson. Whoever they take is going to be their starter. And Benson, that is the most ideal fit for him in this draft. The New York Giants could be good. Without Saquon Barkley, they brought Devin Singletary in. Benson would probably take that job away from Singletary, and Singletary would be his backup. Philadelphia, they did lose DeAndre Swift, and then they brought in Saquon Barkley. The thing here with Trey Benson potentially fitting with the Eagles is that Saquon Barkley, he has had his injury issues throughout his career. It's hard to believe that he's going to be on the field the whole season. So if Barkley goes down at any point, Benson can step up and fill in as that starting running back. Could be really good for him to get some touches and spot work behind Saquon Barkley and be potentially that guy there in case of an emergency. And my wild card is Baltimore. They brought in Derrick Henry, great free agent addition, but Derrick Henry, despite being a powerful, explosive runner, he's getting older. He's starting to slow down a little bit despite being a good runner still. And so as he gets older, if for some reason injury comes up for Derrick Henry, Trey Benson can fit in very well filling in at that role. And with all of the pistol sets and out of the gun sets that the Ravens run with Lamar Jackson, Benson actually probably fits really well with them, because I think that's when he's running best, is when he has a little bit of a head of steam build up there, getting that touch, being able to take his time and find an open gap, and then be able to hit that hole after being patient initially. So Baltimore could be a good potential wild card for him. That does it for the running backs. Wide receivers coming up tomorrow. As I mentioned before, this running back class, maybe not as talented overall as some other years, but the best position group in this class is the wide receivers. So you can't miss tomorrow's episode. Make sure you hit the subscribe button here on the channel, and I'll be back with you tomorrow.